Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am glad to have you here. Today I just wanted to casually chat about my fitness journey and specifically like take it back to let's go circa 2020, circa 2020, okay. Circa 2020, July, or no, August. I went to K-State, Kansas State University. I was on the cheer team, had 2 roommates at the time. We were all very much different in terms of like, 2 of them had boyfriends. I had recently broke up with my boyfriend. We were all going through like totally different stages, but we all had one goal. We wanted to be on the cheer team. And that was great. That was fantastic. However, I wanted to be on the cheer team and I also wanted to be the smallest person ever of myself. And it started as me just running so much. And I think if I could back up a little bit, actually the summer leading into my freshman year of college, I kind of had it in my head that I just needed to like start to get myself into shape. And I think I kind of went a little bit too extreme with it, even in the summer leading up. And it was not healthy. I was running so much, like I would not eat breakfast, or if I would eat breakfast, it was like oatmeal. Let me see, I probably have pictures in my Snapchat memories of like all the things I was eating and doing. I was eating like some oatmeal. I wasn't tracking my macros or anything like that, but I was having some like protein powder in it with some fruits and it looked good. And then for lunch, I would have like a salad from Brahms. Like that was what I would eat every day. And then dinner, I don't even know what dinner was. It would literally be like a salad with steak and ranch or something. So it was like I was trying my hardest to be healthy, but like it wasn't enough. And this kind of like went on all the way into going into my freshman year of college. And I also want to preface that within that year of going into that year, I was running so much. Like that was like the only form of exercise I was doing. I was doing a little bit of strength training. We had a gym at the house. I was running on the treadmill, running outside. I thought I was so cool for running like 4 miles a day. I was like, yes, this is what's going to get me in shape. This is going to give me the body I want. No, and I just literally looked skinny. Just skinny. I mean, just skinny, like no muscle tone whatsoever, which is to be expected. I wasn't lifting any weights. And so fast forward, I would say like a couple months into, actually backtrack, I started tracking my macros like immediately, like right when I got into, actually no, that's not true. I started tracking them the summer leading into my freshman year. I remember I was tracking my food, my salads from Brahms. I remember that. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to track my calories or anything. I was just putting it into my FitnessPal. And I started following some like fitness influencers on Instagram, started watching what they were doing, started seeing them track their meals and calories and macros and all of the things. And so I was like, okay, I want to do that. And I started doing that. And at first I remember telling my roommates like, hey, I'm like tracking my macros and like trying to put my stuff into there, and it was like, it says I need to do this to like eat this much. I was just following what my FitnessPal said, and it told me I needed to be eating like over 2,000 calories, and I was like, well, I'm not losing any weight, I'm not looking any better, like I'm gonna change my calories. And the thing about it is the whole time while I was actually in college that freshman year, I didn't have a scale, like a body scale. Like I was not weighing myself on a scale, but I could tell I was getting smaller and smaller and smaller because my clothes were tiny. I mean, like they were swallowing me. That's how I knew I was losing weight. I was like, oh yes, this is good. I'm getting lean. And I got to a point where I got too lean and I was over exercising so much because for when I started working at a gym, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be fit. Obviously I wanted to be fit because I wanted to like have that cheer identity of like, okay, I'm small, I'm lean, I can fly if I'm leaner, if I weigh less. And that was what I had wanted, and I only flew in like one or two stunts, but that's here and there. Anyway, started working at this gym, and I got really, really consumed. I was going to the gym 7 days a week. I mean, I was eating as little as possible. I was overtraining. Sometimes I would run to the gym, work out, run back home. I was running so freaking much. Thinking back now, what was I doing? I didn't care. Like, I would just run. I would run through campus. I would run everywhere. Like, I had no chill. I literally did not care. Now that I think about that, that is making me think, like, I did not care. And I literally did not care what people think about me running in the street. Anyways, so fast forward to, like, I want to say December of that 2020 being there, I was real lean. Like, I could tell, like, okay, I had like etched abs, but like didn't have that much muscle, like, at all. But I had abs. Like, I was lean. My stomach was lean, which is great. Then my grandpa died from COVID. Well, he got COVID, and he was just already unhealthy, and so that made things worse. But I was so, like, small. I was eating as little as possible. My mood was crap. I wasn't sleeping well. Couldn't figure out why. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because you're undernourishing your body. Fast forward all the way to, like, March, April. I was, like, real skinny. I mean, just looking at the pictures, I'm like, you may not be able to think from looking at it, but I just know from looking in the way that I felt that I was too small. And I think the combination of me having disordered eating, plus it being COVID, plus cheer was not fun, for me, like, my mental health was in the garbage. Like, I had never felt so bad in my life mentally. Like, honestly, that was the worst I'd ever felt mentally. And it was even worse then than after my dad had passed away. Like, it was worse at this point. And all I could care about was, like, getting smaller and smaller and leaner and leaner and leaner and leaner, and it was not good. And I'm just looking at pictures now, looking back at videos, and you can say, like, well, I mean, I don't think you look that lean. Like, I think I look lean because I see what I look like now, and I have a lot more fat and muscle on my body, where I just looked so skinny and, like, sick, and I felt sick in my body. I had an injury that I could not heal from. I just looked lean. Like, somebody my height should not be 120 pounds. I'm 5'7". That should not be 120 pounds or less than that. And I moved home. My mental health was so bad. And I think this is the picture that I saw of myself. And I was just like, you could see it in my face. It was just like a turning point for me, and just like how skinny my legs were, that I was like, this is not it for me. And I honestly cried looking back at that picture, but I don't think it helped that I was on birth control. Me feeling like this, the anxiety in my body, the not being able to sleep, like, I even went to the doctor, and she was like, okay, let's put you on anti-anxiety medication. And I was like, great, perfect. And it did help me sleep. I'm not gonna lie, it helped put me to sleep. But at the same time, I was still so small, tiny, under one. You can see it in my face, you can see it in my body. Like, I've always been lean, but I've never been this lean. Anyways, started going to school here in where I live in Wichita, and like I said, I had a hamstring injury. I actually injured my hamstring when I was at K-State, and it was because I was over-exercising and under-eating, and it would not heal. I got a physiotherapist here. I was like, nothing's working. Eventually, what it came down to was like, girl, you're malnourished. You are malnourished. And when I started eating more food, so many things changed in my body. My mental health was better. I think one, meeting Brock obviously helped with my mental health a lot. Just in the fact, like, he was so funny. Like, this dude was so freaking funny. And, I mean, he still is. But that, and the fact I started to fuel my body properly, I started gaining healthy weight, I looked in the mirror and realized, hey, this is not healthy for you. Put on some healthy weight, which was good for me. I definitely needed that. I hired my first coach in February. I mean, like, my butt started looking good. I was like, dang, started exercising better, more intentionally, because I had the actual energy to do so, and I was looking so good. So I hired my coach in March of 2022, and he fixed my relationship with food a lot, because I was getting stronger and not everything was about the scale. My butt was ginormous. I was gaining muscle. I was learning how to train correctly, had a good relationship with food. So, and I told him, I was like, I want to be able to compete because one of his clients is actually the reason that I wanted to work with him. And so I started working with him, and we worked together for like a year and a half pretty much before he was like, okay, now we can start prepping you, start going into a prep. And so I was like, great. So I did a bulk with him first, and that was like from when we, not a bulk, but like got my food up to a good spot before we did like a cut. And so for probably like 3-4 months straight, I was eating a solid amount of food. We started to go into a cut. I cut from like June, I want to say June, all the way into September, October. We started reversing my calories, did another bulked from all the way from like October all the way into May of the following year, June of the following year, I want to say. And then June, I started my prep for my first bodybuilding show. And my first bodybuilding show was in November, and that was also the same time. So I started prep around like that June time, but August was whenever I was actually starting my first full-time job. And let me back up a couple of months before that, in February of 2023. No, that's not right. Yeah. February of 2023, I started coaching underneath my coach. So I was doing that while I was still in school, and then I decided that I wanted to get a full-time job. I needed a full-time job. I finished school, graduated, and so I needed that. So I was working for him, also doing that. I started my full-time job in August, like literally I think August 1st or something like that. And that was when I was also in my bodybuilding prep. So I was in bodybuilding prep at the same time that I started my full-time job, and it was a lot. You know, like I was working a regular 40-hour week plus doing my coaching, plus doing bodybuilding prep, and it was just a lot to take on in the nervous system all at once. I had never worked a 40-hour week before, plus having my other clients, so probably an extra 5-10 hours, plus my actual bodybuilding prep, which takes so much time. Like in the mornings, you know, I'm doing an hour of cardio, then I'm training for an hour and a half to 2 hours, plus cardio after work. It was a lot. But after that, after my prep, I started having some like gut nervous system issues. I was like having heart palpitations, all sorts of things. And that probably went on for, I don't know, 4, 5 months, 6 months after that. And also in May of 2024, I decided to start my own business, and that's when I started my coaching business. And at that time, I was still dealing with a lot of gut issues. I quit my full-time job. There was just a lot going on. And since then, I've had up and down fluctuations of gut issues, persistent gut issues. This past August, I had H. pylori. Had H. pylori again in February. My H. pylori came back. I mean, I think I never fully eradicated it. And the last time I got it done, checked, was in literally like beginning of June, and I still had it there. So I've been on a protocol for that since then. But I have gone through so many phases, and I had a coach during that period of time where last August found out about the H. pylori. Had a coach for 6 months, and we kind of worked my food up, but the H. pylori did not get fully gone. Then I had candida after the H. pylori. So just a lot of things have gone on. Gut, functional health issues. I didn't have my period. After my bodybuilding show, I didn't have my period for a year and a half. It was a lot. And the gut issues that have been persistent, I don't know what's in them. I don't know if it came from the bodybuilding prep and that stress that I put on my body. I don't know if it's just my stress in general, because I am just a type A high achieving woman who has always had these tendencies of overdoing it with work, with training, all the things. I've gone through literally everything you could think of. Okay? I just need to tell you that. But I feel like I'm in a spot now, so I actually took myself through since I finished with that coach in February or March, I believe. Yeah, I finished with him in March. We worked together August to the end of February, I think. Guys, I don't even know where it stopped because my camera died. Or not died, but I ran out of storage, so I had to go back and delete some photos. I don't even know where I was stopping, but I think I stopped at the point where when I stopped working with my coach and I started started coaching myself, because I had a coach at that point for like almost 4 years, some sort of fitness coach. And so I was like, you know what, I just want to like go off and do things on my own. And I noticed that my gut issues started coming back after working with my coach, and then when I got my GI map results back, they showed that I still had H. pylori, and then Candida came with that, and our time was done working together, and he had originally told me like just stop taking all of your supplements, and I was just like, I'm not gonna follow that. So I ended up just going off and trying some things of my own for a couple months, and then I decided to reach out to this dietitian that I know. We did like a one-time consult. She told me exactly what I need to do. Then I went the antibiotic route, and then I got a GI map results test again, and this time my H. pylori was still there. Like, still wasn't eradicated, even after doing the antibiotic route. So this time I'm redoing it again, and I'm taking a proton pump inhibitor because that's going to help bring the acidity down from the H. pylori being so elevated, which I do feel like it's helped me so much. My acid reflux has been so much better. It's not fully gone, but it's gotten so much better. I've been taking that for about 2 weeks at this point, and my goal is to like do this for like 6 to 8ish weeks of kind of like killing off that plus the antimicrobials, and just seeing if I can eradicate this. Third time's a charm. I'm really having faith, hoping that God is going to help me this time around. Like, I need it, but a lot of this comes down to like the nervous system regulation piece. And I think that so many of us like type A women are so go, go, go all the time. And we really don't stop to think about, okay, like, what is actually making me feel so poor? Like, we think it's just because it's our norm that it is normal, and it's not. And we can all just like shove down what's going on all the time. And I think because I had gone through so many of these different phases of like bulk cut, whatever it is, that I'm just at this point where I'm like, there's no need for me to be eating 22 to 2,500 calories a day if I'm not training hard enough to, like, I don't need to put myself in a surplus just because. And I do think that puts a lot of like strain on your body when you're constantly in like a calorie surplus. And I was having like heart palpitations for a while, like, and honestly it wasn't until I started taking the antibiotic that those symptoms decreased. So I don't know if it was like that plus I had started losing some weight. I'm gonna say it's a mix of those two things that I had started to feel better because I wasn't eating so much. And when like I'm eating so much, my gut's already inflamed, like that's just gonna be like feeding into the problem. Like, I don't need to be eating that much, but that's here and there. The point is like, so many of us women just think that so much of our issues and problems are just normal, and that like if we go to the doctor they should be able to solve it. What they're going to do is give you a prescription, and it's like, okay, but I want to get to the root of what's causing this. You can tell me I have IBS, you can tell me these things, all these things that are going on, but why is it happening? And there is a reason for everything, and I do believe that like our bodies can heal themselves through nutrition and through supplementation and nervous system and focusing on your breath, and you can sue me for that, but I truly believe that our body is designed to heal, and it knows what to do, and we just have to give it the right resources. And I know so many women could really relate, and not in the sense of like maybe you've gone through like bulk cutting phases or because you've overdone it and overtrained and whatever, but you've gone through phases where you've completely neglected your health, or what you thought was right, what you thought was healthy was actually making you feel worse. What you thought was the job that was for you, what you thought was you grinding yourself into the dirt and you hustling harder and you busting your butt and going and 5 a.m. workouts and training fasted and downing the energy drinks and the protein puff powder, this, that, and the other. What you thought was healthy like was actually most detrimental for your body this whole time. When you can come back to that state of equilibrium of, okay, this is what my body needs, this is like how it actually feels, to feel like I'm in homeostasis. And I don't mean balance in the sense of, oh, you eat a cookie and cake and all these things. Like, no, like self-care and taking care of your body comes from nourishing your body. It comes from drinking your water. It comes from sleeping enough. It comes from saying no to people, from having boundaries. Like, that's what true self-care is. It's not bubbles and going and buying manicures and doing these things. It's sitting in silence and stillness and not having to constantly be going and doing and working and achieving. And that's what true self-care looks like, is taking care of your body so that you can feel your best whenever you do go and do these things, whenever you do go out with your friends, and whenever you do go to work. Like, the real self-care is nourishing your body mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I think so many women are lacking in any of these pieces. I know for me, when I lost my menstrual cycle, I know it was like the mental and spirituality piece that I was missing, because I had fixed the piece where I was under eating and overtraining. I stopped doing that. It was all up here. I was secluding myself. I wasn't even talking to anybody throughout the day. I was lonely. All I was doing was working and sitting in a room and sitting in my office and not having conversations with people outside of the screen. And all of these things matter so much more than you think. Like, you gotta have that community, that connection outside of just work and work hard and work out and eat. Like, you have to have that other aspect. So I'm not quite sure where you are at. Maybe you're struggling with more of the physical, where you're not taking care of your body in the sense of like nutrition and exercising properly, or maybe you're on the opposite end of the spectrum where you are doing those things, but emotionally, mentally, you're neglected. And let me just turn that off. My mom's texting. And so just understanding, like really getting in tune with your body. And I think this is where a lot of women are not, because they're constantly moving from one thing to the next, or they're trying to self-diagnose themselves, or they go to the doctor and they say everything's fine. And you're just so out of tune, dysregulated with what your actual body needs. And that's why I love that I've gone through all these different phases, so that I can help the women, so that I can at least resonate with you. And maybe it didn't come from, like I said, the bulking and the cutting and all the things, but you're still having this nudge of like, work harder, pull back, like whatever it is. I know that I've gone through all these different things: the gut issues, the hormone issues, the bulking, the cutting, the working myself into the dirt, the doing the HIIT workouts, the running too much, the neglecting up here because I wanted to focus so much on my external. Whatever it is, I want you to know that I see you and I fully understand what you're going through, what you've gone through. It may not be on the same level, but at the end of the day, we're all women who are out here just trying to survive and make a good life for ourselves. But at the same time, like, we can't cut out our health out of the picture. Our health is like the most pivotal thing. Health is wealth, and I have learned that through and through again, and that's why I invest so much into my health and my well-being, because it is so important to me. It's why I shop at Whole Foods. It's why I buy the supplements. It's why I take care of my gut, because so many people, I think, just go through the motions and they think that what they're dealing with is normal, and it is not normal. It's just common, and you don't have to live this way of feeling like you're stuck in your body. Like, you deserve to feel good, to wake up and have energy throughout the day. You deserve to have a regular menstrual cycle, to have digestion that's not finicky, and to be able to make healthy food choices without second guessing, and not have to run to the bathroom every time you eat. Like, your body should not be so dysregulated that the systems going on inside your body are out of whack. If digestion's off, if hormones feel terrible, if you're chronically fatigued, if like your body composition isn't changing, if it's really hard for you to lose weight, like, you have to look deeper. And that deeper comes with you really auditing your lifestyle. Okay, what do I need to change? What is it that I am not actually facing up here in my relationships, in my work scene, in taking care of my body through actually nourishing it? Am I fasting? Am I drinking coffee? Am I drinking energy drinks? Like, really getting to the bottom of, okay, I want to thrive as a woman, and I know for me, I have a goal, like I want to be able to have babies someday, and that comes with me taking care of my health now, because who you are right now, preconception, plays a huge role in your baby and how they're going to be. I know my mom was so type A, high achieving, anxious, like, and I know that's why I am the way I am today, because that's what I've grown up around, and also like that is a proven fact that you shape your baby while they're in the womb by how you're acting pre and during. And so I want to be able to be that regulated person. I want to be able to work on my emotional regulation, and there's so many things that we can be doing to make our lives better in all aspects. And I think that the core foundation is your health, because whenever you can focus on your health, you can start to become disciplined in that. It will just carry over into every facet of your life, into your relationships, into your jobs, into your friendships, into every little thing that you're involved in. And I've seen it time and time again, not only with myself, with my clients. Had I not gone through the trenches of bodybuilding prep, and I don't know if I'd have that drive, that growth mindset to be able to run a business that I have now and make 6 figures a year. Like, I don't think that I would be able to do that had I not gone through all of these things that have helped me and shaped me and evolved me. And I just wanted to share my journey, because I know that me sharing my journey will help you with wherever you're at in your journey. Like, and it's not okay, I had this goal, I want to lose this much weight, and then I'm done. No, like, you have to still be able to maintain all of the lifestyle things beyond that. You don't just lose the weight and be like, oh, I'm good, like I can just go back to how I was living before. No, like, you're changing your lifestyle, and as time goes on, you'll learn what your body likes and what it doesn't like, and you'll be going through different seasons and different trials, and you'll have to pull back on training for a little bit. Or maybe there's sometimes where, I have so much energy right now, school's out, I can really focus on my training, I can really hit it hard, and that is just a part of it. Just learning to love your body in all seasons, in all phases, is so important. Looking back now on like my scroll of everything that I've gone through has led me to be here right now, to be able to help women get out of whatever they're going through in their health, their thyroid, their period, their fertility, their digestive, GI, whatever it is. They want to lose fat because they've been overweight their whole life, whatever it is. I know that I've gone through all of these specific things to be able to help women come out of theirs. And so I love you guys, and I'm glad that you listen to my journey, because it's been a long one. It's been a long one, and it seems like 4 years doesn't seem like a long time, but to me it does. And I just remember, or not even 4 years, like 6 years at this point. I mean, like, we're at 6 years. 6 years when I started prioritizing my health and my fitness, and just how much has evolved over that time, and how much I've learned. And I truly believe that I've gone through every single one of these things so that I could help women not have to go through the same thing, and so that they could come out healthy and vibrant and have this discipline in their life that they can carry over into all facets of life, and that their health makes them a better person, not a worse person. Because I remember a time where my health consumed me, and it made me miserable. It made me a biatch, if I should say. So, I love you guys. And I already said that, but I really appreciate you watching and taking the time to see my fitness journey, my health journey, for the past 6 years. That's wild. 6 years. I'm 24. I started when I was 18. That's crazy. So crazy.